I think I read a very interesting piece of information just about an hour ago, and I'm surprised it's already the 25th of October, and I just read it. I guess I didn't do good enough research myself, but from my friend Barbara Weltman at barbaraweltman.com. Barbara publishes an idea of the day. She is recognized as America's #1 small business tax expert. She's also, well, she is an attorney. Barbara is a good friend of our community. For about a year, on Friday mornings, she did an hour broadcast with me at stickham.com. And I Skyped Barbara on this screen, and then we did a 1 hour show every Friday morning at 9 o'clock. At any rate, Barbara came out today, and this is an idea I wanted to share with you about women-owned businesses. It wasn't just an idea; it's a fact. October is National Women's Small Business Month. According to American Express Opens, the state of women-owned businesses report, there are more than 8.3 million women-owned businesses in the United States. Women-owned businesses have increased by more than 54% over the last 15 years. They generate almost $1.3 trillion in revenues and employ about 7.7 million people. The report also lists the states with the fastest growth in the number of women-owned businesses, with Georgia, Nevada, and North Carolina leading the pack. It doesn't surprise me. What does surprise me is that I'm just reading it for the first time today, and thank goodness we read it. I have, and I don't know this information exactly, but I'm going to look it up, and I'll report back to you tomorrow with my findings. I believe that of all the new business startups in this country right now, more than 50% are coming from women who are starting the businesses. It doesn't surprise me at all, and it will not surprise me when I find out exactly what the number is, unless it's less than 50%. A couple weeks ago, we shared some information with you about a blog that Sheryl Sandberg at Facebook, Sheryl is the chief operating officer at Facebook, said that the field of technology is a wonderful field for women to be in, because if, for whatever the reason, they have to stay close to home, they have a family that they're raising, and they've made the choice to stay at home and raise that family. In the world of technology, you don't have to be in an office. All you need is online accessibility. And so the technology industry itself is a great place for women to be. And Sheryl made that statement. I also made the statement that day that not only is she the chief operating officer at Facebook and surely makes all the major business decisions at Facebook, and she actually spent a lot of time at Google. Another woman that I speak a lot about because she's doing wonderful things right now at Yahoo, and that is Marissa Mayer. Marissa's been at Yahoo for just a little over 100 days now, and the impact that she has made on that company is tremendous. She definitely has Yahoo headed in the right direction. And also of interesting note, in that 100 days that Marissa has been CEO of Yahoo, she also delivered a child, delivered a baby, stayed at home for 2 weeks, and then went back to work. We talk about innovation and creativity, and I would tend to believe that from the creative side of starting a business, marketing a business, growing a business, women will contribute to the creativity aspects probably much more so than men will. I might be wrong on that. And I think of all of the creative marketing ideas that I have dealt with over the years, and quite a few of them, articles that I've read, research that I've done, have been done by women. Women, you've heard me say this before too, women represent more than 50% of the population in the United States. And women also have a tendency to vote more frequently than men do. And it really surprises me that women do not vote more women into positions of power in politics. There are quite a few, no question about that. I'm sure that there. I don't even know how many women are in politics. I have no idea. I would guess that 25% of elected officials are women. Maybe it's a higher number. But if women really got together and became worked together, they could elect anybody they wanted to get elected into positions of power. I am also reminded, maybe I have a copy of it here someplace, a recent edition of New York Enterprise Report, a very fine magazine. Here it is, a very fine magazine written in New York City. Robert Levin is the editor publisher. The last edition, the September edition. Fierce women entrepreneurs meet the powerful ladies behind some of New York City's most dynamic and successful businesses. We need more women in business, period. And what a great place for an online business to get started, and right here in David's Barter community. Our first theme of today is one of marketing. You know that our community is all about social marketing, social network technology. And a question that, well, the question I hear most about starting a business is now a good time to start a business. And I hear it no matter what time it is, no matter what year it is, I always hear that question, is now a good time to start a business? And you know my answer to that question. Now is the best time to start a business. But now, what is happening in our country today, in our economy today, I have never seen a better time than now than to start a business. There are two major challenges. There's more than two major challenges. Two of the most significant challenges in any business, be it an existing business or be it a business that is just getting started, is social marketing and social network technology. Years ago, when I talked about marketing, I never used the word social. Today, it is mandatory that the concept of social be a part of any marketing strategy, because we communicate differently today than we communicated years ago. We communicate in communities. Most of people's time in a given day, outside, if it's outside the realm of a specific job function, outside time is spent in social marketing communities. So much so that of the 1 billion folks who have profiles on Facebook, half of those folks spend over 3 hours a day. So we have to go where the people are if we want to take the message of our business. We have to go where they are. They're here at stickham.com. Millions and millions and millions of people are here at YouTube. We have to know where they are, and they are in some type of social marketing community. And that's an interesting dynamic, and I wanted to share with you today. And real quickly, these are all the different ways that one can market their business. Each one of those boxes represents a different part of the marketing matrix. And I want to thank my friend J.W. Dixon, Nick Nanton at Celebrity Branding Agency for doing a wonderful job for creating this graphic, this infographic, whatever we might call it, because they really have hit the nail on the head in terms of marketing. And I want to go over, I think there's 22 different boxes here, and I want to go over quickly each one of them. I think I have experiences, stories to tell in each one of those. But before I get to the boxes, I found, as I was doing my research, I found a really good blog from a woman whose name is Gillian Franklin. This was not too long ago. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago I found this. And this blog was published at Startup Smartly. It's a website in Australia. And Gillian, or Jillian, however she pronounces her name, asks the question, or answers the question, how can I stretch my marketing budget and still get good marketing presence? Okay, we have all these different ways that we can spend money. How can I take whatever my budget might be and make it go further? We probably all live within a limited marketing budget. Some have a higher budget than others. The interesting thing about the growth and development of the internet and the internet as a marketing tool is that really folks are pretty much on the same level, same playing field. Yes, if you've got $1 billion to spend in social media, so to speak, you'll have an opportunity to be everywhere. If you have a limited budget, it's more important that you focus on the areas where you need to be. You have to understand who your target audience is, and after you understand who it is and define who it is, you have to be able to target those folks with your best marketing message. So let's get down to it and see. There are 6 different points that Jillian brings up. How do you stretch your limited marketing budget? Number 1, know exactly who you are targeting, your customers, your consumers. I just said that. You have to start from who am I trying to target? Where can I find them? And then once you understand who it is, then you have to figure out, obviously, how to reach them. Number two, pick the easiest and most effective opportunity to communicate with your consumers, your prospects, your customers, from your focus groups. Social media is one of the best ways of marketing and communicating today, but you need to have the skills. That's a loaded, loaded statement. Yes, you heard me say it. Social marketing communities, social media communities. That's where folks reside today. That's where folks spend time today. That's where folks communicate with one another. That part of it has never really changed, other than the interesting thing about that is that because they are in communities, theoretically, you know where they are, and it should be easier for you to target those folks. That's logical. Uh, Once you understand the technology, that's really what you need to do, because the rules of engagement, of marketing, have never changed. Well, they've never changed for me in the over 40 years that I have been using the marketing rules of engagement. What has changed is the technology, the means of communication. Now, don't 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 fall into the trap that if you have questions about your marketing and you're searching out a mentor of entrepreneurship, as you'll find in our community. Pretty soon you'll find 10,000 mentors of entrepreneurship in our community. Don't fall into the trap that millions of people are falling into, that somebody knows all the answers of how to communicate effectively in a community. As a matter of fact, if somebody focuses on a single community, I have found people, every day I see people that focus on, instead of the big picture, they focus on one. Now, the idea that they're focusing on one is not a bad idea. Don't get me wrong on that. But the idea that they're focusing just on one, maybe they don't understand the big picture. Chances are very good they do not understand the big picture. So carefully pick out the individuals who you ask for guidance. You might get it for free. You don't have to pay them anything, or they might charge a fee. I made the terrible mistake when I first got into social media, social marketing, the whole technology of things. I did not do a very good job of researching the individuals that I asked for guidance. And I spent close to $7,000 in guidance information. Spread that among 3 different individuals. And I can tell you, as I'm sitting here, I learned a lot. I learned a great deal. I learned who not to hire, but I also learned some very, very basic things. But I did not get $7,000 of return value. Definitely did not get that. But you live and you learn. I did learn. I grew, and I knew what not. I'll tell you what I knew what not to do after dealing with these 3 consultant experts. But I moved in a different direction. Now, today, if I called upon these 3 people, I would challenge any one of these 3 people to do a better job than I can do in delivering the technology and delivering the social marketing. But you live and you learn. You learn by your mistakes. Uh, it was a costly learning experience for me, for sure. But I did learn, and I moved forward. And you know what? It was really, now that I think about it, after those experiences, and they were all kind of working together at the same time. So theoretically, I really should have had a great return on investment, return on resource investment at the end of the process, and it lasted for a couple of years, but I didn't, and that's when I really started to assemble and put together my own social marketing, social network technology strategy. Okay, point number 3 from Jillian. I need to put my glasses on to read it. Invest in strategic PR. Publicity is more valuable than advertising. I don't know that it's more valuable. It certainly is very valuable. And in fact, J.W. Dix and Nick Nanton and their celebrity branding agency are my public relations agency. And I can tell you that the investment that I have made in their company, in their services, in their expertise, in their knowledge, certainly has given me a return on resource investment. And I budget a good amount of money, pretty much on a monthly basis. And actually, I believe it's going to be in January. I'm going to launch another effort with their agency, although it's not going to be as much about PR or publicity as it's going to be about development of a product that we'll make available to you. Number 4, use strategic partners to help your dollars deliver a higher result. Yes, use them, but be careful who you use. You just heard me say that I did not ask the right questions, do the proper research in hiring the people that I hired. I will help you. I will answer any questions that you have about people that you might want to hire for your existing business or if you're going to start a business. And funny, point number 5, ask lots of questions. Ask your printers for smart ways to save money. It's funny, I didn't, in reflecting upon that, I've been dealing with printers my entire life. I started my business ventures in the publishing world, so I've been dealing with printers since the early 1970s. And printers are great folks, but printers have the best ability that I have ever seen. And I don't deal with a lot of printers today. I deal with a few, not a lot. They don't give you all the answers to the questions. They don't volunteer answers to the questions. They answer the question that you ask, and they don't put it into the broad spectrum of things. And I have been fortunate over the years that I have been able to figure out what the right questions are and figure out the best way to print something very cost effectively. I will never give a printer a blank check to perform a printing service for me. They will work for whatever that amount on that check is. I promise you that. I guarantee you that. But it's a changing world, and we didn't have time to get into all of these things, but I have to spend some time because these are all the different ways that you can market your business, and we will work on those in the future. We're going to end this segment And our next segment is going to be stop trying to protect your business ideas. Get that business started and stop trying to protect them. Why should you stop trying to protect them? We'll figure that out in a moment.